Hey guys, I'm just setting up. Give me 1 sec and then we'll get to it. I apologize. Super crazy day. All right. I'm going to warn everybody now. You're dealing with me uncaffeinated. It's not sexy. So just bear with me. Things were crazy this morning with the AMD news. And hold on. You gotta be kidding me with this. All right, let's get to it. Hold on. All right, sorry guys. So they gave me this. I ordered a DoorDash and they wrapped the damn thing in like foil. I don't know why you would do that, but now it's everywhere. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And now I'm annoyed. All right, let's get focused here. Focus. Make sure that that's on. Let me check the audio. And then we'll get to it. Okay, good. The biggest news, obviously, is going to be the AMD news. I don't think that anything's going to be bigger than that, obviously. This stake that OpenAI is getting in the company is enormous. And I'm surprised they're getting that big of a stake in the company. But also, I'm really interested in the deal because it's an enormous freaking deal. Like it's a huge amount of money. And so what's starting to happen here, in my opinion, is everybody's starting to realize that they're way off on their numbers. I saw this a lot in research over the weekend. I'm not going to get too into it for a whole litany of reasons, but I don't see any reason why, and I'm not saying it very much now, but you could have seen it, earlier. We were discussing this morning in the room, but I don't see how you're not taking that out. Like I don't see how people don't take their numbers up drastically today. It's an enormous, enormous deal. And on top of that, you have them coming out and saying, like, their OpenAI developments today, they're going to talk about this all freaking day long. And everybody in that development is going to be talking about it. Like, hey, how much are you buying? Like, what kind of stake are you getting? And I think that that's the point that people are going to start missing here. Like, not only are they cutting these deals, but the deals that they're cutting are so big that equity stakes in these corporations are going to be pushed around. And that in and of itself, becomes incestuous, and people will draw their stupid graph saying, oh, well, that's the only way they can afford it. Yeah, that's the only way that they can afford it. Yeah, it's called a partnership. And that's how business is done. Sometimes you have to partner because you can't afford it. So you have to go find a partner that has deeper pockets or has what you need. And when you start to see that kind of stuff, yeah, it's super important. So I can't stress that enough. And if you really look at this, the one line that really got to me that I thought was super interesting was AMD CEO expects deal with OpenAI to be highly accretive, revenue growth and earnings immediately. So immediately, everybody has to take their numbers up on the street. OpenAI will be immediately accretive. Like, it doesn't really get any clearer than that everyone has to take their numbers up on the name. Under the OpenAI deal to take stake in AMD, also directly tied to increasing AMD's stock price and milestones. They don't fully vest until AMD's at 600. So whatever, go figure that out for whatever it's worth. But the fact that they get warrants like that, they're going to continue to buy from them. And these relationships become incestuous, whether you like them or you don't like them. It is what it is. So I do think that you're going to see some of that. Yeah. Now, does that mean you're not going to have pullbacks? No, of course you're going to have pullbacks. You had one today that nobody thought was a pullback at 196. I bet everybody wanted to buy that. We had one down in here that we bought this morning at like 203, and look at it now. I mean, we're up $20 on that. Now I am trimming it into it because I think that today is going to be absolutely wild. But you want to watch this OpenAI development conference. And I really think some bad news is coming for Meta on this conference, because they cannot for the life of them stay in that thing. They just cannot. You have a put wall there at 700, but they cannot stay in that. And that's a real problem. So is a problem or a blessing? A problem. What else do I find super interesting? The Sky T, they announced a secondary and it's actually up, which is super interesting to me. It usually doesn't work that way. So let's see how this goes. What else do I think that you should be focused on? Tesla showed a propeller on the screen, so that's good for $10. All the hoople heads will get all excited talking about the Tesla drone or whatever. These are really sell the news events to me. We bought it on Friday at the close. Candidly, I didn't know he was going to come out with a propeller and post a propeller on TV. I thought he was going to cut, or that Trump was going to cut costs, and that's not what he did. And so I don't think that it's going to be this big thing. Who knows what he does, but he's better at fanfare than delivery. And I think that that's, super important. I do. I think it's super important. So Tuesday could be like a really big day, but I think if I went and looked at, let me pull this up for you. And I apologize. I'm out of sorts. Today I'm like thrown off because I didn't get to go to like my normal place and get my coffee. I'm a creature of habit, man. When it gets thrown off, it's an absolute shit show. Excuse my language. I just want to see something. So you really want to watch 440 still. I'm just looking at like the option book and seeing what else is out there. But if you can get through it, if you can start getting through that, you can go. So I have these calls, and what I'm going to do with them, I'll just be honest about it. It's like if I push, like really push, you can get to 445 pretty quickly if you get through that 440 level. And then from 445 to 455, it's like a layup almost. And then if you get over at 455, it could really move. But, we'll see. I would take what I get today and then want to play the game tomorrow and then kind of go from there. But I don't know that you have to, you're going to have to rush into this stuff. I think that's really going to be the mistake. You're always getting an opportunity again to get back in into these names. And, that's kind of where my head is. That's what, if I go back and look at my trading, which I do every day, that's really where I'm doing exceptionally well, is going back and letting it bide its time and then getting involved. That's really how I'm doing. I'm doing best with the trading. right now. And I always look at that kind of stuff. Let's go take a look at the ES and we'll go from there. But the OpenAI event will be publicized. It'll be on TV, YouTube, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think that is, the level that you're going to want to see. This little double tap right here. Do I think this is going to hurt NVIDIA? A lot of people are going to ask. No, I actually think it's great for NVIDIA because it really shows the demand that's out there and that they just can't even get NVIDIA chips. And no matter how much money they want to spend, they still can't get NVIDIA chips. So I think it's excellent. But I also think it's excellent for AMD people. They finally got a sign that they've been invited to the party. And this might be that quarter, it might be like that March or May 23 breakout for them, their next earnings quarter. That's very possible. It's a little more telegraphed than what we're used to, clearly, but for coming up, but clearly it's there. Rising wedges usually do end in tears and retests, and you do have one. So, I don't know that I'd be going gangbusters right now or really concerning myself. A lot of the stuff I can get rid of. I don't want to start over, but we can get rid of a lot of this and remove and remove and remove. All right, cool. And I don't want that there. I'm going to move that up to here so we can look at it that way. Yeah, I don't really know that that's as big of an issue as it once was, but I do think you need to watch this stuff. Let's go take a look at the RSI for a second. So you're already getting toppy, right? Now, one thing you don't really have to worry about this week is what? Economic data. But I actually think you're going to have more volatility because of that, because these Fed speakers are going to be all over the place. I'd watch this like a hawk. These usually turn into sell days when people don't get it. Like overall, it becomes that kind of issue. So let's go and take a look at this. Let's go take a look at the SPY. And there was this level up here that I was watching. Let's see if that's still relevant or something I really have to pay attention to here. I'd still pay attention to 675. 670 does seem to be that key issue as well. I don't know what the heck that thing's got shattered. So it's really not adding any value. Let's go to get rid of the pre and the post for a second. Just say, well, I think you're good. I think you're good with your levels. I do think you might want to watch that and make sure that you get through it. But yeah, I mean, I do. I think that you have to be cognizant of that up there. I mean, you're bidding up today, but I think you have to be really cognizant of that level. Let's go take a look at the NQ real quick. Let's see what we got going on there. That's when we got itchy right there. You're trying to break out. You got to see if you're going to break out of this. So far, you're stopping right there. It's actually pretty good, though, because if you get this retest and you hold that retest, you're actually in pretty good shape. Yeah, I would just make sure you hold that. I think you're going to. You're too orderly to not, right? Say it. It's too orderly. The panic, the undercut, the reversal of the undercut. So I actually think you're going to hold here. It's probably a trade right there, actually. See what it does here. Well, I mean, there's your bar. See it? Let's see what it does here. I think you're okay, though. For time's sake, I'm just going to leave it just like that. All right, let's go take a look at the Qs and let's see if anything's moved there. That's 610 is probably still good. It's safe. It's still good for a topping area. Still there. So I'd watch that 610. I mean, you're far off of it. It's 1% now. So, I mean, that's good. I think that's pretty valid. Yeah, just be careful. But overall, I mean, when you bid up like this, usually you're going to see some level of profit taking. It's just a question of where. You're riding that line so far. All right. What else do we have? Tesla, we went over. AMD, we went over. Let's just take questions. That's probably the better way to do it. This Galaxy supposedly came out with some kind of trading platform. I thought I'd get way more interest than that. It's not getting that interest. ASML should actually be up a lot. And it's not really doing what I thought it would. So some of these satellite companies I thought would be moving a little bit more than they are. They're not. I'm just wondering if we're getting tired. We'll see what happens there. Let's keep going here. Start taking questions. Japan's super interesting. Yeah, you know, I personally think the best thing that Apple said or did was we're getting out of the goggles. Someone's saying that they're going to stay in the glasses. I don't think they're going to ever have a pair of glasses, personally, but you never know. I think that's their cop out of getting out of the whole thing, but you never know. Maybe they are going to do glasses. I think that's their cop out to go back to the development board, and it saves face a little bit. Like, oh, we're not going to go with these ridiculously stupid goggles. We're going to go with the surveillance state look. So whether or not that actually comes to fruition, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you're definitely flagging here. And Japan's killing it with these. I mean, like they're all over this phone for whatever reason. And that does tend to translate into bigger sales for them. So, you know, we'll see. But it does tend to translate into bigger sales for them, usually in China too, if the phone's a hit there. IBM looks great. I mean, IBM's probably the real quantum name. I don't know that I need to be buying things if they're not breaking out right now. I think you have to start thinking about like where's your money worth, where's your time worth, that kind of thing. BETR, what's up, Aaron? You know, I mean, I'm not touching this. I wish you the best with it. Better home and financing holding companies. I mean, good luck. It's one of those guys holding out a sign in front of Drake's house as his investment strategy. Is that what it is? So, I mean, I have no idea what this thing's doing, what it's doing. I'm just teasing. I have no idea. I wish you the best with it. Probably the volume's insane. So, has the government taken a stake in a company yet? Is the first thing that you have to start thinking about. And if so, which company have they taken a stake in? I think Meta's in a lot of trouble if you break here, like a lot. So I wouldn't go near that. Whenever I have a bar that does this, pops over and then comes down and it's over and it looks like this, like something seriously wrong there. I will actually wonder what they're going to announce today. Because to me, there's something seriously out there that they're going to be, all over and announce. And to me, that's why this is acting the way that it is. So I'm super interested to hear about that and to see that. Lumen, Meta, PLTR. Let's go take a look at the PLTR. I mean, you're bidding up. I would think people are going to short it. Like, there I go again thinking, but I would think people are going to short this. Like, did they fix the problem? I mean, you're supposed to be a security system and you have holes in your security system. Like, that's probably not really a good thing, right? So, what you are seeing from these levels, I'm just kind of going through them and looking at them. You do have a huge area of interest down here, right, that you're holding. So, I don't know that you break that, but I don't know. You're getting through this. Let's take a look at something here. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, if I'm to look at this, I'm super suspect of this whole thing, this whole rally. And I can get rid of that for a second. I personally am not going near this thing for anything more than a short on rallies. But I think you can get down to that 170 and then maybe you hold, maybe. So maybe. When you start having problems with your core business, it's like a real problem. So I'm not really sure how that's going to play out, but it's definitely of interest. I don't know, man. I don't know that we're going crazy with that one. I'm spending time on it because I know a lot of you guys are going to ask about it. CRML. I think you have to go and look and say how many stakes has the country has the country taken a stake in. Right? How many has it really done? We keep hearing about them, right? So you have USAR, CRML. I don't know if they took the stake in USAR. I forget if they actually did. Then we heard it was going to be lithium. Are they just going to take a stake in every company? So that's like the new saying AI to me, right? Like, which companies are they actually going to take stakes in? I think they might have in a couple of these. I have to go through it. I think they actually did, but you probably have to go through and take a look at the terms and things like that. Do I want to get involved with this because they're going to do that? Probably not. I actually probably want to be on the other side of that and sell it. I mean, you can already see it already cracked. So anytime you're in one of these suckers and it does something like this and it's broken, like to go near it, you can already see it retesting that area, right? So up, down, up, like it's already broken the VWAP. So I wouldn't even go near it. I mean, there's no reason to. Like, why would you? Why would you go near something that has this huge rumor on it, like it's going to happen, and then nothing more than the rumor. Everybody knows the rumor, right? And then it's doing this. Like, it's different when it's different when there's news and people can't figure out what the news actually means, which is happening more than not. I would say, I'd give you an example of like ASTS when they made their announcement, the stock was like 53. AMD today, people still have no idea what this even means. They're still not getting it, even though the stock's up the way that it is. And I think that way about some of these other names too. But I think overall, what you really should be focused on, I'm just going to give you my 2 cents on it. Everybody already knows this thing. Like you're not the only one that knows that's supposed to get a stake, and they're selling it like the pig it is. So I don't know why you'd be wanting to rush into that, I guess is how I look at it. Yep, please hit the like button. Thanks for all the comments on Saturday's video. I put a lot of time into it. Yeah, I'm surprised that Rocket Lab's not up more, honestly. I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but I really like this. And I think that this can really go. Let me do it this way so you can see it even more. I just don't understand why we're not getting more lift today, but yeah, it's definitely on my list of names that I should be looking at today for sure. This list is just getting ridiculous. So how many names I have on here? I guess everyone's realizing they bought Arete. This is when it gets super difficult to figure out. I wonder why these are down. There's got to be some reason. ANRO. I don't know anything about that one. No. Oh, no. What? Like no. I don't know. Are they getting money by the government too? I sound like so grumpy. ANRO. New drug grants fast track designation. Well, that's good. Associated with schizophrenia. Well, that's really good. Good for them. Company came out, put a $15 target price on them. HC Wainwright put a $10 target price on them. AMD OpenAI is much bigger than people think it is, Julian. It's much bigger. Like it's much bigger than people think it is. So, I mean, even from the trades I did this morning, you know, I already know I'm going to regret those sells, but the process is the process. So I don't see how it's not higher. People are like, but it's up so much. I'm like, you got to really look at what they just said and what they're doing and how much money they're throwing at this stuff. Like, I don't think people understand it. I really don't think people are getting how much money is being thrown at these companies. And I don't want to get all into it because I want to answer questions today, but I'm just telling you, like, people really should be doing their research. I don't think people are doing enough research on this, like on any of this stuff. I think there's so many people that are out there that are just, everything's a scam, everything's a fraud, right? And, oh, well, they're investing in the company, therefore that's how they're getting the money. Well, okay, well, welcome to business. The only people that say things like that are people that have never owned a business. Like, of course, they're going to have partnerships and they're going to take equity stakes in companies because they don't have the money. Like, that's what you do when you don't have the money. So you don't go to a VC because you want to go to a VC, and you don't give someone an equity stake in your company because you want to, right? So you have to. You don't have a choice. And AMD really didn't have a choice. So it actually works out perfectly for them. But it's absolutely huge news. And I truly don't think people are fully grasping that news. And I don't think they're grasping it with like Micron. And I'm not saying these things are going to go up $20, $30 every day. But from a long-term standpoint, people are going to look back on this and think that they were in, a .com bubble, and far, far, far from it. There's nothing like that. It's not even close. They're actually equity positions. And there's real money being thrown at this. So, I mean, can it dip? Yeah, man, this thing can go down $20, $30 if somebody sneezes right now. The wrong company comes out, or they come out and do a secondary because they want to, or they do a convertible offering because they're stupid if they don't. Like, yeah, they can get smoked 100%. And then maybe you get involved. I bought some here on this break, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to hold on to it. And then I did a trade in the community, like down here at like 203. And, all right, you're up $20 already. Like, you look at that and go, well, do I take it? I mean, to be candid, yeah, I do trim into these pops 100% because you don't know what's coming. especially off the open. If somebody's been in this for a while and they want to dump it, but this thing, I even put out this morning in the room. I'm like, man, this thing can easily, you can take out the 227. You can go. Like, it's a big, big deal. And I hate this company, but I don't hate it now. So now it's my best friend because they have a real contract. And this could be like their first quarter, like NVIDIA's first quarter from 23. So there's a lot there, man. A lot there. So it's a question of what you're trying to accomplish. What's up, Troy? Good morning from Miami. LTRX, ONDX. LTRX. I'm going to have to make way more coffee. LTRX. What is this? What's happening here? I don't know why it's up, dude. I don't know anything about this company. I can only speak technically. And as long as you're breaking out and holding above that 471, you probably are okay. But you got a lot of nonsense in here, like a lot, like peak nonsense. So is that something you really want to do? Right? Probably not. Not to me, but maybe that RR is going to be a beast. That's the one I bought and I put away, and now I'm annoyed that I didn't buy more. The one thing that I'm noticing more than anything about some of these names, I don't know what this thing does besides go up a bazillion dollars every single day. So I feel like this is something that I don't want to say it that way. I feel like this is something that I owned. I'll say it that way. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing, dude. Is the government going to take a stake in them too? Hold on 1 second. See how grumpy I sound? Old man shakes his hand at the cloud. Trading higher, Wainwright coverage, $12 target. Company pricing 20 million shares to sell. Okay. So when they did the share offering with warrants, they had huge demand. That's how I know this stupid thing. Okay. I got to consolidate positions. Yeah. Can it keep going? Yeah, it probably can. You're in the right field. That's how I know it. Okay. They would be my levels, bro. They would be my levels. All right. What's up, bro? Your names. This is going to, yeah, it's a total pro market candidate. I have all kinds of notes on that, Jacob, that I was going through. I won't go through them now, but I had all kinds of notes on that. She's big on uranium, and she's going to get rid of foreign solar panels, but she's big on uranium, which I think is really interesting. I think the EWJ is probably going to wind up pushing on that news. Like, it's really big news that she got elected. So yeah, I think it goes a lot higher because I think it's really good for the country. She wants to increase defense spending. She's going to cut some of the programs down a little bit. So I think it's really good, for the country. I also think the CWY that you bring up a lot is just going to be a monster. So I think that this is going to be an absolute utter monster. So I really don't see any reason to, not look at getting involved in that anymore. I don't know that you're really going to break this, 78 level right there. So I just think that just makes so much sense. I just want to get that out there because I don't have a position in that. I'm probably going to do it. And I know you've brought it up a couple times. So I'd rather just tell you since you're the one that brought it up. I usually don't do ETFs. I'll just buy the names. I don't want to go out there and buy Hynix and deal with the conversion of currencies and everything. But I just don't want to deal with it, especially if because I think the dollar is about to get stronger too. So I tend to not want to do that into it. Like if the dollar was weaker, I'd be doing it. If the dollar is going to get stronger, I'd rather just buy the damn ETF. It's just easier for me to do it that way. So, and not try to hedge up the currency risk, you know? It's a big deal, dude. Yeah, I really regret this one because I have a stake, but I don't have a stake. I don't have a real stake. And this is going to be enormous, I think. I really do. I think this is going to be one of those companies that we look back on, because no matter what we talk about with these chips and everything else, like who's the first person? What's the first company that got access to these chips, these AI chips, AI robotic chips, right? It's Tesla, right? No, it's this company. Like for whatever godforsaken reason, they get the first allocation. I have no idea why, but yeah, man, I do. I think that this could be an absolute monster trade. I really believe that. So it's definitely there. It's really infuriating when I look at it because, you know, I had a big position here on that news. Like I couldn't get over why. I'm like, why is this thing flying? And I think this is happening a lot to people where they're just not doing the research. And I'm not understanding how much they're not doing the research. I am now understanding it. And I really frankly think you can see that with AMD today. And even people not really grasping what transpired this morning and them thinking that this is, yeah, you are up a lot, but yeah, you can go a heck of a lot higher. So, I mean, it's pretty rare for me to be up 20 something points on a trade like this and not even think about getting out of the rest. So, you know, but yeah, I see why someone would look at that, brother. I totally get that, Troy. I own gold. It's a no-brainer. You have so much instability in the world, dude. Like you have so much instability. Like what's that France ETF? EWQ, is that it? You know, I don't know how this thing's breaking out. Like people don't even care that governments are falling anymore and can't pay their obligations. I think the EU is in a lot of trouble, frankly. I actually wonder sometimes if the EU makes the form, if it stays in that format over this period of time, if it actually can hold together. It's going to be an interesting time to watch all this stuff. And that's why gold's going higher. I think gold goes a lot higher. Silver, I don't play, but LAC, USAR. Yeah, but that's my point. Like, oh, they're going to take stakes in all of these. You know, I had a trade in this. I did very well with it, but I had a trade in this one too. But like, do I want to hold this stuff? You know, it really becomes a function of, I don't think so. Like, I don't think so, man. Like, they're not going to take stakes in all of them. And frankly, I don't even think they should take stakes in any of them. AMBA. I'd watch this conference today. I don't really like that. I don't like when you're popping and then you're just completely rejecting. So I'm not really a fan of that. AMD. What's up, Lynn? What's up, Bill? I think you got some resistance above you. What's up, Tariq? I actually think you're stabilizing. What's up, Jose? Yeah, that's such an interesting trade. Because I don't think it's done. I don't think it's done. I really don't. I was really surprised at how you just never fell apart. And I think the scariest thing, like if I was short, like I can't believe that company with no revenues is just not even doing a secondary. And it just makes me wonder, like, why? Why aren't you doing it? Like, what do you know that I don't know? You know something. You know something. You know something I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. What's up, Steven? Good morning. That rejection at 150 call wall was like a ton of bricks, bro. I don't know where it is now. I'm not really watching it. There's your 55 too. I don't know. I'll take a look, see where we're at. What time is? I got to jump, guys. I got to jump. Still there, bro. And it's freaking huge. Doesn't mean you don't flip it, but it's huge. That's huge. You might stay above it, but I'd be surprised if you close over it. You could, the way these names are acting. I can't go over some of these guys. I don't have time. You should stop in the uranium room. They are on it in that room. She's huge on uranium, dude. Yeah, what is what is it? What are they working like? Are they working out of their office? Someone was doing that the other day. They were like freaking out over the uranium names. Well, no, what were they freaking out over? They were freaking out over the quantum names. These are their headquarters. I'm like, bro, this company's $100 billion or something insane. There's 3,000 employees, and the guy works out of his house, and he's worth $80 billion. Like, go read this story. Actually, you guys should really go and read that story. Go look at the Founders podcast and go listen to this. It's a fascinating story where he came from and what he built. But I don't care where your headquarters is. I don't care how many employees you have. How much money do you make? Like, where's it going? Like, who cares? So, well, they're keeping the costs down. I don't understand. Like, I don't really care. I'd be more concerned if they had a flashy office and they didn't have any money coming out of it. There goes AMD. Boom. Boom. To my little weird dance. I love AMD. I've always loved AMD. Always been a huge fan. That'll annoy a bunch of people. All right, that's it. Trade to win.